Hey, what's up, family? It's your man, Mark Black. Got you, Joe? Then let's get into it. This message this morning is for my religious and spiritual brothers and sisters. First of all, before I even get into it, I gotta say thank you to everybody, all my new subs, all the people that have been giving, assistance to me via my Cash app. Link's gonna be in the description. And so on and so forth. I can't thank y'all all enough for the love and support. It definitely is seen and definitely appreciated. To my religious brothers and sisters, I got a few bones that I want to pick with you. No shade, all right? Understand, no shade. Just some simple discussion, all right? I have seen a lot of comments from you and allowed a lot of comments from y'all on my different videos, right? Many of you know I'm not a religious or spiritual person. I'm an atheist, all right? And so you question whether or not this push, right, this effort that we're making as the American descendants of slaves is righteous, because if God's not behind it, then what's the point, right? And I feel you. So I just want to leave y'all with some reminders this morning of why it is that you need to be with us, why you need to be making an effort and a push right along with us. Even though I'm not religious or spiritual, I've studied every different religious and spiritual type of doctrines or teachings you can imagine. Everything from Christianity to Islam to Buddhism to magical practices, you name it, Mark Black has been on it. Why? Because I'm not an atheist because I hate God. I'm not an atheist because, I think that I just want to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm an atheist because I haven't been convinced of the evidence of the existence of a deity. None of your arguments are convincing to me, right? Now, have I had experiences that one could define as religious or spiritual? Yeah, I have. As a matter of fact, I talked about one in my broadcast yesterday about how I can feel my ancestors driving me, pushing me to do this work. In every one of the faith traditions that I've studied, every one of the spiritual practices that I've seen, there's always been a mention of the need to want for other people what you want for yourself, right? The Prophet Muhammad in a hadith was related or reputed to have said that no man can claim to be a mu'min, right? A Muslim or a believer until he wants what is for his brother what he wants for himself, right? Yeshua was reputed to have said that do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The Quran constantly mentions to the believers, to the community of believers, to enjoin the right and forbid the wrong. Our unpaid debt is a great wrong, a great injustice. Anyone with half a heart can see it. If you're a Muslim brother or sister, it makes no sense for you to sit on the fence and stand back in this fight. It's your duty, your responsibility to stand up and fight against injustices of all kinds, not just the ones that only benefit Muslims. Had a lot of Christian brothers and sisters say, if the Most High ain't with you, this ain't gonna work. Well, duh, right? Even as an atheist, if God does exist, I recognize that God is the ultimate arbiter, the ultimate power. So you're right. My Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, Christian brothers and sisters, if the Most High isn't with us, there's no way we can succeed. But the Bible in the book of James, chapter 2, also talks about faith that has no works behind it. It says things like faith without works is dead. That you claim to have faith, but you've done nothing. I will show you my faith by what I've done. right? Like I said, this is common. It's a common thread amongst every faith tradition that at some point, your belief in a higher power, in God, if you will, should drive you to fight against injustice. As your brother and one who loves you, I want to issue you a reminder this morning of one important fact. God may be something none of us can ever see, right? We may never actually see in this life an embodiment of God. Some religions argue that God is a person. Okay. But I can tell you this. If there is a God, and you want to show me evidence of this God, what easier way can you show me by showing me God working through you? God using your hands, your mind, your psyche, your abilities, and yes, your faith to drive you to do great things for our most beaten down, most diminished, most degraded people. I would think that if your faith was so strong, if God was on your side, and you were trying to show us that God is on our side, that you'd be out here fighting harder than anybody for justice for the American descendants of slaves. My belief at this point is that the wisdom, the history, the stories of my ancestors drive me in this work. You can call that spiritual if you like, if it makes you comfortable. You can call it a religious teaching or a doctrine of some sort. What I call it is that energy is neither created nor destroyed. The energy, the essence of the life that was my ancestors, pushes me to demand justice for them as well as for myself. I don't have any evidence of that. So that is faith. If you can't trust in my faith, trust in your own. Any faith that you hold, that you really cleave to, should be directing you to join us in this work. Because I haven't ran across a faith tradition yet that doesn't demand the highest of sacrifices, the most powerful of advocacy, the greatest application of wisdom from its adherents. Don't question us and tell us that if God ain't on our side, we won't be successful. Duh, we know that. How about understanding that your advocacy might bring God to our side? That God may have been waiting for your ass to move on behalf of your people before he backed this thing. How do we know that your one person, your one life might not have been the key, the linchpin? Sure, we don't know God's plan, but how far-fetched is that? So stop yammering at me about faith. Show me your faith by what you're doing. Otherwise, your words are wind. That's all I wanted to say on it, family. Like I said, it's your man, Mark Black. I love you. And until the next time I see you, love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.